Do you guys know who Sokokurai is? Sokokurai Aikichi was an active wrestler between 2003 and 2020. He's very much before my time as an active sumo fan. He was the first Chinese wrestler to make it into the top division, having made it all the way up into Maegashira 2. And after 2020, he retired as a wrestler and became the 9th elder to carry the name Arashio, and 2nd owner of that stable. And if you don't recognize the master, you'll definitely recognize the students, because one of them won the last top division Yusho. That's right, Daiseizan belongs to the same stable as Wakatakakage and Wakamotoharu, meaning he definitely has some big shoes to fill. My name is JJ, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Sumo Show. Before we get into it though, make sure that you give this video a like and subscribe. Make sure that you join the Discord. You can find these videos all on there early. Leave a comment to let me know what you thought about Daiseizan's performance in Natsu, or how he's currently doing. I mentioned it earlier, but Sokokurai was the first Chinese wrestler to make it into the top division of professional sumo, and under his care, Daiseizan would become the second. Looking at his records, he seems to be a fairly well-rounded wrestler that prefers the bread and butter techniques of yorikiri and oshidashi, and in his opening 5 matches, we would see 5 wins back-to-back. After his absolutely abysmal performance in March, where he went 1 win, 6 losses, and 8 absences, Onokatsu was punted from Maegashira 6 all the way down to Juryo 1 East, which is a fall of 23 ranks. He would be the first person that Daiseizan fought, and Onokatsu would not make it easy for him. There is a huge clash to open, and as Onokatsu is moving backwards, he tries to get his right hand on the belt, but he just doesn't quite get it. Daiseizan does get both of his hands on the belt and uses this grip to bring Onokatsu back and over the bales. Takeru Fuji would be the next man to fight Daiseizan on day 2, and Takeru Fuji comes in hard and slams into Daiseizan, and right away it looks like the Arashio man is going to be brought over the bales, but he counters. Using his belt grip, Daiseizan turns with everything that he has, and Takeru Fuji is spun so that his back is against the ring. Daiseizan leans forward, so Takeru Fuji is given no room to escape, and this match ends with a frontal crush-out. Sadanomi was next, and in May he was having a difficult time getting the wins going early. By the time day 3 rolled around, he didn't have anything going for him. Daiseizan opens with hands to the shoulder before dropping his left to the inside. Sadanomi's right hand is on the belt, and he's going for the drive, bringing Daiseizan back to the bales, only for the Arashio man to spin Sadanomi at the bales. While defending, Sadanomi steps out, and Daiseizan picks up another yorikiri. I feel like it's not controversial at all to say that Ryuden is in the twilight of his career. It wasn't that long ago when he would be pulling double-digit records near M10, and now he's struggling at the bottom of the division. That said, he doesn't make this easy for Daiseizan. Ryuden gets his head pushed up before twisting to try and get his left arm on the inside. Daiseizan gets a grip with his right hand and then stands up, using his hips to bring Ryuden's weight up. And from there, he simply walks the veteran out of the ring. Hatsuyama was the final man to face off against Daiseizan in the opening 5 matches. Daiseizan opens up with extended arms, and Oshi attacks to keep Hatsuyama away from him. This is one of the slowest moving Oshi fights I've seen in a long time, and eventually they devolve into a very awkward looking grapple. Daiseizan brings Hatsuyama towards the bales, and while Hatsuyama struggles to save himself, it's not quite enough. Daiseizan ends day 5 with a yorikiri. If you guys remember my Kazuma video, I said the same thing there. I love seeing a stretch of 5 wins in a row while making these videos, especially when those wins come early and they come fast. It's a great way to build momentum, but this sort of streak tends not to last. Daiwonoryu was the first man of the Natsu Basho to give Daiseizan a loss, and he certainly wouldn't be the last. This match opens up with a massive head clash that absolutely rocks Daiseizan. Daiwonoryu keeps his head down and keeps his momentum going forward. Daiseizan does attempt to turn things around by grabbing Daionoryu's belt, but Daiwonoryu sidesteps, gets behind Daiseizan, and then forces him out to end day 6 with an Orikuridashi. Asashoryu only lost to 5 men in Natsu, and 4 of those are now, or were, in top division at some point. Asashoryu hits Daiseizan hard out of the charge, but Daiseizan twists into the grapple, forcing Asashoryu to defend with his right hand. Daiseizan keeps Asa's left arm up and away from the belt, and after an extended lockup, Daiseizan acts with a decisive pushing attack to bring Asa out via Oshidashi. Kyokukai was up next on day 8, and this is a pretty quick matchup here. You can tell that Kyokukai gets in way lower than Daiseizan off the tachiai. Kyokukai tries to barrel Daiseizan over the bales, but the Arashio man doesn't make it easy. He reaches up and over Kyoku's back and gets an outside right hand belt grip and attempts a throw. This causes Kyokukai to abandon the double belt grip entirely and go for a massive shitate nage to counter and end the match. Day 9 brought us a match against Kitano Waka, a wrestler that was injured in top division in January of last year and has been fighting to get back up into Juryo ever since. This is a pretty even tachiai with the two locking up and fighting for position. Daiseizan gets an inside left, outside right belt grip, and Kitano Waka gets the same. From there, Kitano Waka drives Daiseizan back towards the bales. Daiseizan tries a throw at the bales, but Kitano Waka shows excellent defense by tying up their legs together to prevent this throw. He drives forward, fighting Daiseizan to the bales, and then over, crushing him out of the ring. Day 10 was a blink and you'll miss it match against Tomokaze, my favorite disabled wrestler who expectedly loses the tachiai, and it's only a matter of moments before Daiseizan brings him over the bales. Tomokaze does try a pushdown on the top of Daiseizan's head, but it just doesn't work for him. Well, now that we are into the final third of the Basho, we've started to see a few losses piling up. Daiseizan only needs one more win in 5 days to get his promotion, but an 8-7 might not have been enough to clear Juryo 1 East, so he needed to get some more wins. Day 11 would not be the day he secures his winning record. He was set against former top division elite Meisei. This is a pretty quick match as well. Daiseizan loses the tachiai to Meisei, who gets an inside right, outside left hand belt grip. Daiseizan tries a throw at the bales, but he's just not got enough to get the win. Meisei wins this by simple force out. Up next, we got a match against Daiseizan's fellow top division debutant for July, Kazuma. I've already done a breakdown on this match, so if you want to see that described in detail, head on over to that video and watch it as well. Kazuma would be the one to pick up the win after getting both hands on the belt. Daiseizan does show some pretty good defense throughout the match as well, though. Day 13 was the final of Daiseizan's losses in this stretch, and it was against Miyagino recruit and current Isegahama wrestler Toshino Fuji, who is, as of July, fighting at Juryo 4 West. Daiseizan lands the tachiai well, but ends up losing the charge, being brought back towards the bales. As this is happening, he gets his hand on Toshino Fuji's belt. Knowing that continuing to push against Daiseizan might open himself up to an attack, Toshino Fuji displays a very smart sumo by stepping back, opening the barn door on Daiseizan, who falls to the ground, losing by Tsukio Toshi. With his back getting pushed further and further to the ropes, Daiseizan needed to turn things around in these last 2 matches if he wanted to guarantee his promotion to the top division. He was given Toki Hayate on day 14, who at this point had only won 4 matches in 13. And to his credit, Toki tries in this match. Daiseizan loses the tachiai and they get into a belt battle. With another massive spin, Daiseizan counters Toki Hayate and swings him over the bales to end day 14 with a yorikiri. And finally, Daiseizan was pitted up against Kaze Keno, who had 10 wins at this point. This was not supposed to be an easy match. By all rights, Daiseizan should have lost this one, and Kaze Keno should have ended this Basho with 11 wins. Instead of being driven out and over the bales by the bulldozing tachiai from Kaze Keno, though, Daiseizan shifts his weight, steps to the left, and allows Kaze Keno's momentum and his weight to bring himself to the clay. This Tsukio Toshi on day 15 would be exactly what Daiseizan needs to get promoted into the top ranks. An excellent opening followed by a deep struggle, only to come back at the very last matches of the Basho to secure not only a victorious record, but a promotion to the highest stage in professional sumo. Daiseizan is a belt guy that prefers a good inside-outside belt grip and has some pretty nice throws at the bales for defense. That said, his defense is alright, and he can throw Oshi attacks when he needs to. All in all, I see Daiseizan as a pretty decent all-rounder that really just needs polishing. And he's got a lot on his shoulders as well. Not only is he carrying the legacy of his master Sokokurai forward as the second ethnic Chinese wrestler to reach top division, he's also ostensibly taking on the torch of his stablemate Wakatakakage, who won the previous tournament and is now out dealing with compartment syndrome. As of writing this video, we are 7 days into the Nagoya Basho, and Daiseizan is fighting for his life against the top division, and it is not going so well for him. Here's hoping that Daiseizan can turn around his 3-win, 4-loss record that he currently has into something a little bit more positive. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you'll keep an eye out for more. To do that, please hit like and subscribe. Also, ring the notification bell to know when we go live. Goose and I will be here for all 15 days to bring you English commentary. Normally, I'd plug the Discord, but one of our fans has done that for me, so I'm going to leave it here for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye for now.
Daiseizan Daily. Strive toward victory. Push back imperialism. Nagoya. In 1949, New China was born with the blood of the martyrs. Our prosperous land was built through strife and struggle, piece by piece. Daiseizan's manner of victory today reminds us of the path towards socialist sumo will be arduous. Our shared future must be built step by step, piece by piece. In other news, footage of Zhang Zemin's 5-minute bong rip has surfaced. Impressed all with his strength. That's all for now. Spread the word. Join the Discord. Push towards socialist sumo.